Hi guys, thanks for coming back to another video. I had a dream last night that I would like to speak with you all about. I believe it is significant to the timing that we are currently in right now. There are several watchmen out there that have been really putting together some great information that the Lord has been giving them and leading them in regards to the timing and where we are right now. I pray that you all are aware of the timing that we are in and that we are in right now a very, very high watch period. I went to bed last night and I was just praying to the Lord, and I was asking some questions, as some friends of mine have asked me to pray over some things. And I was also too in prayer with the Lord personally for myself and my family in regards to repenting and just asking for forgiveness and talking with the Lord in regards to what all has been occurring in my life. And I know that several times during the night when I awoke, I also continued to pray. Lord, just, forgive me about this or that. I always ask Him to bring something to my memory to help cleanse my heart so that I can address anything that I may have done unintentionally throughout the day. So the dream that I had last night started out, and it came in like 2 or 3 different phases, as I believe I rolled over in the middle of the night and awoke, but as soon as I went back to sleep, the dream seemed to continue. So the first part of the dream was like what this image is showing. I was involved in some type of a communication meeting or just conversation in regards to something getting ready to happen. I don't know who it was that I was listening to. I don't recall faces. I don't recall exact conversations, but I do know that I was not actively participating in the conversation. I was more of a listener, understanding what was being told to me, and I was just trying to understand what all was going on. Now, even though I cannot recall certain specific words, I can tell you what I understood the meeting in this conversation to be about. It was about a person that was going to a certain area. So let me say that again. It was about a person that was going to a certain area. So then I rolled over in the middle of the night and kind of went back to sleep. And the next thing that came to my mind was that this person that was going to a certain area was either going to die. It was either going because this person was going to, that a death was going to occur, or that it was a birthday celebration. Now, I know that that's 2 opposite ends of the spectrum for most people's minds. But I think for those that are walking very, very closely with the Lord, they will understand that the death and the birthday celebration is pretty much it's almost the same thing. It's almost the same thing. And so when I awoke and started, conveying this information, the death and the birthday celebration it was just as strong in my spirit as each other. It was not one was stronger than the other or anything like that. No, it was either dealing with a death or some type of birthday celebration. And so this person was going to a place because of a death or a birthday celebration. And so now I understood also too at that point that it was going to occur at this time. Okay? It was going to occur at this time. So if someone was coming to visit somebody in a particular area, I understood that they needed to get there before this time. Okay? If they were going to come and wish them well and pray over them because of a death, maybe a hospital scenario or something like that, then they would need to get there before this time. And if they were coming for the birthday party, this is the time that it was starting. This time right here, 3 a.m. Okay. And so then I must have rolled over again, and I had another, it was almost like a vision within the dream. I saw my daughter. Now, you guys know that the Lord uses my daughter in dreams an awful lot. And she's younger, and she is not walking as closely with the Lord as she really should be. She believes in the Lord. She knows who Jesus Christ is. She has been baptized, but she is walking in the world right now. And so in my dream, I saw my daughter, and she was with a guy, and they were at this type of a, I don't know, grocery store or some type of a, stop and shop kind of place where she was picking up beer. She was buying beer. And I had a sense that she was going to be celebrating because of the 3 o'clock birthday party. She was going to be celebrating. And so I'm going to tell you, I really, when I woke up this morning, I had a scripture come to mind. And I wondered to myself, is what's going to happen? Is it that we know this is our high watch period? Is this what's going to happen? He's coming at 3 in the morning. He's coming during this high watch period at 3 in the morning. I submit that for your discernment. I submit that for your discernment. The scripture that came to mind was Revelation 11, and it was this part right here. And those who dwell on the earth will rejoice over them, make merry, and send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented those who dwelled on the earth. And this is when the witnesses were killed, and they were dead for 3.5 days before rising again, before being resurrected. But this is where my mind went when I had that dream about my daughter and her buying the beer. My thought went to, is she going to be celebrating? Will the world be celebrating? I know that scripture's dealing with the two witnesses, but I cannot help that is where the Lord led my mind this morning. So that was a little perplexing to me this morning in regards to that. Will the world, actually, she's representing the world in my dream. Will the world be celebrating this event? I don't know. So 3 in the morning, and we know that they have night watches. This being the midnight hour, this being between midnight and 3. This line here being between 3 and 4. So 3 into 4. So the timing that I was told is right here. It's right here. Okay, 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. Now, what is significant in regards to that is the fact that I live in the United States, and we have several different time zones within the United States, and we have messengers that live all throughout the United States. And so me being on the East Coast, I have the earliest time. I have the earliest time zone in regards to the rest of the United States, meaning if it's 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, then it's 2 o'clock on the next time zone, 1 o'clock on the next time zone, and then all the way on the west in California, it would be midnight. So I know there are messengers out there that have received timing. I'm not going to name who they are. When they see this video and hear this video, they know that the timing that the Lord has given them is going to be confirmed. I believe the timing that we are being given is specific to where we are located. That's why there are so many different times being told to us. I know there are watchmen and messengers that have put up videos from California that have said midnight or several minutes before midnight. That would equate to my 3 a.m. on the East Coast. So I want to just show you something else that I pulled up that I thought was pretty interesting. And this is just significance of the fourth watch. And it's just saying here that the fourth watch is defined by the Roman watch, and it's a spanning of time between 3 and 6 a.m. But here are some strategic events that took place, particularly during the night and early morning hour watches. And I thought that these were pretty interesting, that Jacob wrestled with God and met him face to face before entering into his destiny as Israel. Well, we know he was asleep, remember, and he had that dream, so that makes sense. And then Moses led the Israelites across the Red Sea, the Exodus, and I thought, oh, wow, okay, well, I didn't know exactly when that was, but that's pretty interesting. Gideon defeated the Midianites. Well, that was in the middle watch. Peter and Jesus walked on water. Fascinating. How about this? Jesus is resurrected from the dead. How about that? The bridegroom woos his bride in the night hours, like the Song of Solomon. So, and we know that. A lot of times that's when he comes and he talks to us and he tells us things. These are the times that he'll wake us up in the early morning hours and ask us to come and sit beside him and listen to him. A lot of times that's when we get messages. A lot of times he asks us to dig into scripture, and we do a lot of our studies. Notice that the third watch is from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. and the fourth is from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. And during the fourth watch there are significant power encounters to make way for the kingdom of God to penetrate the earth. And such prayers are highly protective and effectual, particularly when linked with other watchmen. Now guys, this is something here because I know the Lord has awoken me in the middle of the night and impressed upon me to pray. Two people that I am aware of just recently that I have not seen in a very long time, but he has brought them to my heart and he asked me to pray for them, and I did. I stood in the gap for them. I prayed for forgiveness of sins for them. I asked for blessings upon them. I asked for their eyes and heart to be opened. And I did, and I prayed, and it was early morning hours. And I'm not sure if I shared that already with you or not, but it was something that has just, actually it happened on 7:30 because that was the night that I had several dreams that night. I had about 5 or 6 from the Lord. So it was July the 30th is when I had the Lord asking me about all of that. So guys, I just want to bring some things to you. I just want to tell you, this is what I got, and this is what I'm sharing. Now, I know this is going to elevate the blood pressure of some folks out there that are going to say, we're not to know the date or the hour. We don't, Scripture says this or that. Well, I'm here to tell you that Amos 3:7 stands strong in my life, and I know I serve a Father that is not going to have anything come to us, without us knowing. So, guys, I just need to say, for those on the East Coast, where I'm living, I live in North Carolina of the United States. This is the timing. I don't have the date. I know we're in high watch right now, but this is the timing. God bless you all. I love you. Stay safe under his wing. Talk to you soon.